his bond was revoked for picking up the case that they could not have legally brought and thus have dismissed. So I was going to ask that his bond be reinstated.
I don't know.
I think, let me look at the bond conditions, but I still believe the no contact is still valid.
Well, he violated bond conditions. You just could not have criminally prosecuted.
I'm not going to reward him though for violating conditions of bond.
There's no
There's no
reward.
basis to revoke.
Yeah, reinstating his bond is a reward. Why am I going to reward him for?
No, Judge, rewarding would be giving him an ice cream cone. You have punished him. He has been in jail for some time for this behavior. Well, to be fair, Judge, being in jail in Harris County, I'm sure is an unpleasant experience to the point where he had somebody looking up his body parts with a flashlight. Oh yeah, they make you spread.
Well, I mean,
Did you ever have any of those cases where they find drugs down there?
fair though.
I don't.
Like Shawshank.
Not quite like Shawshank. The best Stephen King adaptation ever made, by the way.
Was that Stephen King?
Yeah, it was a short story. It's one of those ones you watch the movie you would not have thought of. And I think Stephen King actually came out and said that is the favorite of anything that he has ever written that was made into a movie. That's his favorite adaptation.
What a story, Mark.
Case number 21S00173.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Sandra White on behalf of Ruben Biden. Can you take your name correct?
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Ruben Butler.
Good afternoon, Mr. Biden. Mr. Biden, we've been doing this a while.
Yes, ma'am.
So last time you were here on April 11th, you flagged to failing to sign your probation contract, failing to drug test this order, failing to complete the community service, failing to complete the math victim impact, and failing to report to probation for over 1 year. I adjourned your sentencing today to today's date to give you an opportunity to show me that you were going to do what you were supposed to do. Have you had an opportunity to review the report with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
All right. What would you like to say when I have a new violation? At this time, I'm going to arraign you on the new violation. Did you go over that with him?
No, Your Honor. What's the new violation?
You failed a drug and alcohol test as ordered.
Yes, we've talked about that.
Okay, so sir, at this point in time, I'm arraigning you on the violation that was filed on May 22nd, indicating that since the time that I gave you a chance to show me you were going to do what you're supposed to do, that you failed to drug test as ordered. In fact, it says that you have missed tests since March 20th to 24, you missed tests March 25th, April 16th, April 18th, and May 1st. If it is found that you're in violation of your probation, then you can be subjected to the original maximum penalties in this case, which is 93 days in the Washtenaw County Jail. You have credit for 9 days that have been served. The recommendation at this time is for, in fact, that entire time. What would your client like to do?
You would like to admit the violation.
Sir, please stand and raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. Sir, is it my understanding that you're going to plead to the allegation of failing to drug test this and alcohol test this order, then you missed all the days that I just indicated to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and my understanding is you also missed yesterday.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right. I find that there's a knowing and willing admission to the violation. Are you satisfied, Ms. McDuffie?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. White?
Satisfied.
All right. What would you like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Mr. Bottom just would like the court to know that he does apologize for everything. He just has not had the money to test. And that is his reason for missing the test. He has tried everything to get the money. In fact, he had to donate plasma just to get here today. He did complete the MAD Victims Impact Panel. He has done some of the 12, he has completed some of his 12-step meetings. He takes care of his children, which is some of the reasons why he hasn't completed the community service between not having transportation and trying to get things adjusted with his wife. He does have a job interview today, so he's very hopeful that he will now be able to complete some of the things that have been ordered for him. This has been a more positive year for him. I know that doesn't seem that way, but this is an older matter. He has started to complete some things. So I believe at the last court date, Your Honor ordered him to complete something. He did complete the MAD Victims Impact Panel. I did explain to him that didn't mean to stop testing. But again, he said that he just didn't have the money, and he has tried everything to borrow money and get money. But again, he had to just donate plasma just to get here today. He wants another opportunity. He knows he's had several opportunities, but now that he's on a more positive track and is able to, although slowly, get some things completed, now that he is looking at a second interview, he should be able to have the money to be able to test and get more things done.
Ms. McDuffie?
Mr. Bottom has had a recommendation for jail for the violations on this case since at least January 4th. And he said a lot of words to us at his last hearing about how he apologized and there wasn't really an excuse. And honestly, I was concerned, and I think we all were, that based on what he was reporting about the MAD, which he has now completed, that he just was having some sort of issue comprehending, maybe some sort of learning disability, because of the way that he described the trouble he was having passing the, quizzes and everything at the end. But this has nothing to do with that. This is just testing. He knows what testing is. He doesn't do it. He missed 19 tests back in 2022, and that problem continues today. I don't know why Mr. Bottom is expecting to go to a job interview today, because Mr. Bottom should have come to court expecting to go to jail. And I don't say that flippantly at all. He was given one last chance, one last chance the last time, because at least he had been in touch with his agent and explained the trouble he was having completing those requirements. Today was completely it. It was the absolute last straw. So I appreciate that he's having difficulties, but he hasn't even been in contact, it looks like, since the last time. Not that that would have excused what he hasn't done. I don't know what the problem is. I truly don't. But I don't know that the court has any reason to look to the situation with hope for the future, that it's all magically going to turn around and get better once he gets more money. Because money is maybe just one factor here. Something's wrong with Mr. Bottom's ability to understand, comprehend, and follow through. And I don't know what it's going to take to change that, but it hasn't changed today, and he's been given a bunch of chances to do it.
Mr. Bottom, it's your opportunity to speak, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I understand the situation. This is really, I know we've been through this more than once. Like I've told my public defender, I know for a long while I was not taking care of none of this at all. And then that put me in the position I'm in today. And like I told her, I feel like this year, I know I've completed more of my probation than I have in the past, and even gave it an effort to. And the main reason for the testing was my mom watched, with the money was one thing. And I started watching my kids because my mom got sick, and she was watching my 3-year-old and then my other two when they got out of school. So I've been watching them. I've been an at-home dad, watching them and taking care of the house with my girlfriend. She's been working. We've had a little conversations trying to figure stuff out. And being that it's the end of the school year, my kids will be out of school next week, and their older 16-year-old brother will be out as well. He will be able to free up my time during the day to do the community service and pay the rest of the fines and fees. And as far as the drug testing, I know I haven't been going, but I was wondering if it was possible instead of having a GPS tether or alcohol tether to show and prove to the courts that I haven't been drinking, even without doing the drug testing.
That was an option for you to ask for last time you were here. We're beyond that at this point, Mr. Bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
You also did not provide proof of any of the 12-step meetings that you were supposed to be doing.
I brought the paper last time, and I thought that, I mean, I gave it to the courts. It had like 4 or 5 days on there that I went to meetings.
That's not all you.
Your Honor, if I could ask a question,
You may.
do you have record that you approved Mr. Bottom to use medical marijuana?
Let me check.
I don't see it on my end of things, but I just wanted to double check. I don't know if Mr. Bottom actually has a medical card or if he previously used recreationally.
I
But
don't-
last time he was testing, it was positive for THC.
I don't see any approval for that. I told Mr. Bottom as far back as March of 10th of 2022 that if he missed any further tests, he was going to do jail time. So, anything further today, Mr. Bottom?
I mean, you know, nobody wants to go to jail. I understand the situation I'm in. I've been doing my best with the probation. I don't know, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do understand that sometimes people don't have the funds to be able to test like they're supposed to. But the fact of the matter in this case is you knew this was your last opportunity. Maybe you just haven't taken me seriously since I've been telling you for 2 years that I was gonna do this. What would you like to say, sir?
It's been in 2022, I was absent for 1.5 years. And then me just coming back around this time is when you started getting on me and telling me to do things and take care of things. And like,
I think Mr. Bottom is trying to say, and I know he tries.
no, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean getting on me like in any disrespect.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Is that what I meant like you've been more persistent of me telling me to make sure I do these things and tell me to do them. And so like, I wouldn't say from 22 that.
I wrote my own note here
Yes,
to
ma'am.
myself at the time of sentencing where I told you on March 10th of 2022, you're going to do jail if you miss any more tests. And instead of that, you just disappear. You're right. You did. You didn't do anything I told you to do. You simply disappeared. But instead of me giving you jail time, you came back with your story and I gave you an additional time. Then you came back again and I gave you additional time. We're done. This is it. I'm not going to give you the full time because I know that sometimes people can't afford to do what they're supposed to be doing. But you haven't been doing anything lately. You haven't been doing any of the tests. Like you can't come up with $12 one time. You couldn't even do that? No? Okay. 30 days in a Washington County jail, credit for 9 days. Your probation is revoked. You can do the Don Farman jail program if you see fit.
Myself. That's a blank. Right.